Fellow travelers or wannabe travelers, there are 3 things you can do to prepare for your next big trip. Let's talk about funding your travel. The first thing we can do are credit cards with travel benefits. We're talking about airlines, hotels, and general travel cards. Now, some of them have an annual fee and some of them don't for the first year, but with so many to choose from, how do you pick just one? First of all, you do want to pick just one because pretty much all of them have minimum spending requirements and a limited amount of time in order to get you those bonus points. Now remember, the credit card points aren't credited to your account until you meet those spending requirements. We're talking about maybe the holiday season when you're buying gifts for people, or you do have some travel coming up and you know you're going to be using the card a lot. Keep in mind though, you're not going to get those points, like I said, so those points might not be useful for you to get your first trip, but it'll definitely help you pay for that second trip. Now back to what type of credit card. Let's say you pick an airline card. What you want to do there is look at the airport that you probably want to fly in and out of and look at the airlines that travel there. And that'll help you decide which airline would be more useful to you as far as getting the points. Same thing goes for hotels. Pick one hotel chain that you want to use where you want to get the bonus points. And then there are, of course, general travel cards, which I'm a big proponent of, and I'll mention that in a minute. Whichever travel-related credit card you get, each of them have big-time perks besides just bonus points, and I'm going to go over them with you right now. These travel cards actually save you money in the long run, but each one has different perks. So I'm going to give you general perks. So double check the credit card you're applying for to make sure it has the perks you want. Now these credit cards, any card you pick is only really good if you do travel or want to travel. If you don't, they're kind of a waste of money. So keep that in mind. Only get it if you really intend to make travel part of your life. I can personally vouch for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. It is my absolute favorite go-to travel card. It is pricey, but when I outline what it gives you, you'll understand why I just love it. In the video description of this video, there's going to be a link where you can click on the Chase Sapphire card. Full disclosure, I do get a referral bonus for that. There's also a cheaper version, Chase Sapphire Preferred, much lower annual fee, but the perks are not quite as strong. But you can weigh the pros and cons yourself. Now, as I record this, for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, you're talking $300 cash back, automatically back into your account once you spend it. It's pretty amazing. I don't have to apply. I don't have to put a claim in. They do it automatically. The preferred card gives you $50 on hotel credit. Not quite as strong as the reserve, but you're paying a lot less for the preferred card. So maybe you want to try the preferred card first and then graduate to the reserve. See if you actually travel enough to make it worth your while. But this vlog episode is not specifically about a particular card. I'm talking about general travel-related cards. Aside from the bonus points, is that it waives foreign transaction fees. When you make purchases using your credit card in foreign countries, you have to pay a 3% foreign transaction fee. At least that's the amount for US customers, 3%, and that can be quite a bit of money. The other perk is travel insurance. For a typical trip, depending upon the level of insurance you might want, and the insurance is for medical evacuation, trip cancellation, the loss of baggage, things like that. It could run you maybe $80 at a minimum, and it could go up pretty significantly from there. I'm just trying to be as lowballing as I can, so I'm not overstating its importance. The other thing many of these cards give you, and it depends upon the card, lounge passes. Lounge access is pretty cool. It helps you relax and gives you free food at the airports. As we all know, airport food can be pretty pricey. Ranges anywhere about $50 and more per lounge visit. And sometimes you can even bring a guest. But like I said, please check the specific card you're looking at to see if it gives you that kind of access. But that can save you a lot of money too. Another benefit is TSA Pre. Many of these cards give you free TSA Pre. It runs about $85 for 5 years at the time of this recording. And what is TSA Pre? For those of you who don't know, when you're going through security, there are a couple of different lines, the one for the general public and the one for TSA Pre, and there's also another one called Clear. But I'm going to focus on TSA Pre. You are basically pre-screened, so you don't have to go through as much screening as the general public. You don't have to take off your shoes, for instance. It makes the whole process a little bit less stressful, and quicker. And some of these cards also, particularly the airline cards, give you the ability to get a companion fare for a mere $99. And this happens every year. Also, I advise don't get a travel-related card unless you're actually going to go on travel, because you get bonus points for using them on travel as well as dining. And the dining doesn't have to be on travel. It could be anywhere when you're at home. If you're getting one of those cards that waives the first year annual fee, put a note on your calendar to remind you to cancel the card. You can still get those bonus points and not pay anything. The other thing you can do to prepare for travel is get loyalty cards. These are for hotels, airlines, rental cars. These are free, so you can get as many as you want. Getting one of these cards can also mean free rooms eventually, free upgrades, a baggage allowance, so you can check a bag for free. Keep in mind that these points do expire, and depending upon the card, it ranges anywhere between 18 and 24 months. So make sure you keep those points active. Now let's talk about planning. First of all, figure out what kind of traveler you are. Maybe you're the kind that is so overwhelmed at the idea of traveling, maybe you want to let somebody else do the work. Find a tour company or a company that refers you to a lot of different tour companies, let's say a Tour Radar, for example. I have a link in my video description if you want to check them out. Again, I will get a referral bonus if you use that link and actually purchase a tour. That said, you don't have to do a tour company. You can do it on your own. And me, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. So how would I do it? The first thing I do is figuring out where I might want to go. Then I do a Google search. Is this place worth it? So it'll give me a spiel on what things this area is known for. Then I'll do the Google images and I'll see the kind of pictures people have been taking at that location, and that'll help me decide if this place is worth going to. Maybe you want to see what's the food like. So Google's big time help here. So that'll help you decide where to go. If you're going international, know that there are new regulations in place regarding visas. The UK and the European Union now have visas that are required for US citizens. So put that in Google again as far as entry requirements for a particular location. In future episodes, I'll help you dig into the planning more to help you create that ideal itinerary. I'll share with you ideas on packing, things that I've learned over the years. I want so much for travel to be part of your life. Please let me know if these tips have helped you, maybe inspired you to travel, or maybe you have tips to share of your own. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for spending some time with me on Mary Goes Round the World.